Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus. Like, okay, couple things real quick just to preface all of this. It's going to be 2 hours of bitching, so get ready for that or don't watch. Secondly, I know the audio is going to sound kind of like dog shit. I'm lazy. I don't feel like moving my setup. It is what it is. As far as the video portion of this, despite the fact that I've put well over 40 days of playtime into World of Warcraft Classic since Sky Fury released, I didn't record a single second of footage throughout it. It just honestly just really never crossed my mind. The next thing is, so I'm just gonna put Monster Hunter World fucking gameplay in the background because I have a bunch of footage of that for some reason that I don't really remember. I was gonna do something with it and then it fucking never happened. Anyways, this is why your raid leader hates you. And there's a lot of reasons for it. Not all of it's going to apply to you specifically. For some people, it won't apply, and none of this will apply to you in any way whatsoever. But, at least this will give you an idea, right? So, just for a little bit of context, I was a raid leader on Sky Fury, one of the fresh servers that launched with Wrath of the Lich King Classic. And I did a full 25-man tour every single week for all of 2022. It was available. It was from October 6th through the end of 2022. Today is January 2nd, as of this recording, and I'm done. We're not doing any more. It's a long story. I'm not going to get into it. Some of what I'm going to talk about will lead you to some conclusions about all of that, and you'll probably be about right. So the first thing I want to talk about is just the talking, right? So, we're in voice chat, Discord, or, if it's 2008 still, maybe you're in Ventrilo or whatever, right? But, just kind of overall, you're talking on Discord. And when you have 25 people in Discord, most people can't talk during that. You just fucking can't, because it's just way too many people trying to talk all at once. Like, imagine being in a party, like an actual human party, where people go and drink or, do drugs or whatever. And then 25 people all trying to talk all at the same time, in the same area. You just can't do it. It just doesn't work that way. So it's usually only a couple of people, and that's fine, especially for Nax, right? Because Nax is piss easy. Really, all of the raid bosses are pretty damn easy, outside of one exception. So, shoot the shit, whatever. But sometimes you bring somebody into the raid and they've never done it before. And all you need, and the bosses are so easy. We had a guy come in, he was a melee DPS. He had never done Nax before, and this was the very last one that we did, or the one before that, I don't remember. And I remember, explaining the bosses to him, 9 times out of 10 was just okay, well, you're gonna attack the boss until he dies. And that's the entire boss explanation, right? But sometimes there's actual mechanics. And sometimes you need to actually, explain to the guy what the fuck he needs to do. And then 2 people are just fucking sitting there talking about, why do female Draenei in Rule 34 always have horse dicks, right? And it's an important question, but at the same time, if we're sitting here talking about horse dicks, instead of explaining the boss to this guy, then we're just sitting here talking about horse dicks, not fucking doing anything. This shit takes 2 to 3 hours. Let's fucking go. Let's get it over with. We don't need to have this long ass fucking discussion. Until after we explain the boss fights, right? Let's just do one thing at a time. And, there are times where it's just you, as a raid leader, you're just sitting here this person I just said, okay, I need to explain this fight to this boss. I just said that in Discord. And this guy just keeps going on and fucking talking. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. for like 30 seconds. Like, it's not that hard. It's like, it's Thaddeus. Like, if you get negative, go to the left. You get positive, go to the right. I just got to tell this to this guy, and he's just talking about horse dicks constantly. Like, why isn't there enough, or why isn't there more Rule 34 of female trolls, right? Like, they added the Zandalari trolls in Battle for Azeroth, and since then there's been quite a bit more female troll Rule 34, right? Like, it's out there now. Like, it's far more than the Darkspear. And it's definitely moving in the right direction, but we don't need to talk about that right now. We just need to get this other shit fucking over, like, this fucking raid over with, so we can all move on with our lives and go do something else. You know what I mean? Like, let me just explain that for like 10 seconds. And real quick, before I go any further, I'm going to be using specific examples, and I'm kind of embellishing a little bit. But I'm not actually angry at any of these people, right? And like, people from my guild, if you listen to this, you'll know who I'm talking about. And I'm not mad at you. It's not like I dislike you or anything, but it's just fucking frustrating sometimes. You know what I mean? So anyways, and then you have people whispering you constantly, right? And like, I'll say this much. There was a guy who joined us as a pug. Like, it was probably in December sometime. And every time I gave him gear, he just whispered me a TY, thank you. And like, it was cute the first time, but after that, just fucking, you don't need to whisper. Like, it's so hard to have a verbal conversation in Discord while simultaneously trying to read what people are whispering to you in the game. Like, anybody who's, you know, everyone has a cell phone or whatever, right? And like, you're texting somebody. Like, are you listening to the person next to you talking to you when you're texting somebody? Vast majority of the time, absolutely not. You're absolutely not listening to that person in any way. And you notice this. Just pay attention. Like, when that happens and you're not involved, just watch somebody texting while someone is talking to them and how little they're actually receiving. It's the same fucking way in WoW when you're trying to raid lead, except it's not just two people sitting next to each other. It's 25 fucking people, and you're getting whispers left and right about dumb shit that you don't care about. Hey, I have to go for like 5 minutes. I don't care. Just put someone on follow. It doesn't matter. It's Nax. It's piss easy. Hey, my wife's boyfriend's cousin's girlfriend fucking father got his dick stuck in the fucking little jet thing in the hot tub, and I gotta go figure that. You know what I mean? I don't care. It doesn't matter. If you can't show up to a raid, all you have to do is say, I can't show up. I don't need paragraphs explaining why you're not going to be there. I don't give a shit. Like, no one cares. Like, your raid leader doesn't give a shit why you're not going to be there. If he asks, he's an idiot, A. And B, he won't ask again after he gets a fucking novel about why you're not showing up this week. It doesn't matter. All that matters is if you're going to be there or not. Like, and there's no reason to get mad. Like, I'm not mad if you're not showing up, but like, just fucking... I skipped way ahead in this. That's fine. But just fucking, you know, hey, not going to be there this week. That's it. You don't need to type anything else. That's it. That one line conveys everything that person needs to know. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Just that one line, and that's it. And like, especially during the raid. Like, because raid leading, there's so much shit going on. There's people talking. There's people complaining about this, that, and the next thing. You got fucking 3 people whispering me, telling me that this rogue is terrible. And I look at his DPS, and it's not amazing, but it's whatever. It's fine. It's not like he's dragging us down or anything like that. 3 people whispering, get rid of him. Get rid of him. He sucks. He doesn't need to be here. It's like, dude, whatever. Who gives a shit? It's Nax. It's not hard. Like, we'll fucking carry this dude. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Fucking A. Oh, just quit whispering. Just don't whisper your raid leader unless it's actually important, is kind of what I'm getting at. Like, A, 9 times out of 10, whatever you're telling them, they don't give a shit. And B, especially when it's piss easy content that really doesn't matter, you could put someone on follow and fucking damn near guaranteed the only person who's going to notice is the person you put on follow. So put the raid leader on follow. Put a healer on follow. Like... you know what I mean? Like, they'll know you're not there, and that's fine. You don't have to make a big fucking deal out of it. You don't have to make a big fucking show out of it. It's ridiculous. Just shut the fuck... You know, every now and then, Like, I hate being an asshole to people, especially over a fucking video game. But sometimes you just need to shut the fuck up. And, like, it's not, like, again, like, not really going out of my way to be a dick or anything like that. But, like, straight up, there are times when you're not helping by whispering the raid leader, whispering the guild leader, anything like that. Just shut the fuck up, kill boss. The faster we can get this moved on with, the better, right? Just chill. It's all good. Just fucking chill. Anyways, attendance. So this is the most annoying one. And listen, I get it. Everyone else gets it. You have a real life outside of World of Warcraft, hopefully, right? That's fine. Hey, I got a kid on the way. Hey, fucking, whatever. Something important came up and I'm just not going to be there this week. That's fine. That's not a big deal, right? The problem arises when you can't make it every week for like 6 weeks straight. Or you just stop fucking showing up out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. If you miss 1 week, it sucks. It's not ideal because now someone else is going to get the gear that you were going to get. And odds are pretty decent that that person's probably not in the guild and never going to run with the guild ever again. But it ultimately, it's 1 week. Odds are the shit you want isn't even going to drop anyway. So who gives a shit, right? The problem is you can't just miss like half of the raid days over the course of 4 months and expect everyone else to just okay, like when the actual hard shit's coming out, you're not really very geared because you fucking weren't there most of the time. And the guild ended up gearing up a bunch of randoms that are either not playing the game anymore or in other guilds who are actually progressing because their people actually showed up. And he had to join a pug or join a group that was pugging because there wasn't room for him in that main raid. But because he did that and now he's got all this gear, well, they lost 1 or 2 people and now he's filling that slot, right? And it's the same, and it works like in the inverse as well, where like, okay, we had a hunter come in fucking week 3, basically full best, right? He had his full best in slot, right? Had all the best gear he could possibly want in every slot. He had his gun, his main weapon off of Kel'Thuzad. He had a pretty good staff. I think he got Black Ice from the polearm from Malygos, which I don't think is better. It is actually best, but it's damn close enough. And he never logged in again. And we looked in Discord. We could tell he's still playing the game. He just never logged into that character. And like, we don't know what character he's playing on. We don't know. You DM him and he's just not interested. He's just not coming back. He already has all the good shit. So why would he raid again? But like, that's fucking over the guild because if he did show up, not only is he going to be doing great damage and the bosses are going to die much faster because he's got his full best in slot, right? He's at his maximum personal potential, but that's one less person that the rest of us have to roll against for the gear that we do need. You know what I mean? Like, if another gun drops, then the other hunter in the guild gets it guaranteed if he shows up. But if he doesn't, well, we pugged another hunter, and now that pug hunter won that fucking gun, and like that hunter's gonna quit the game in like 2 weeks, right? We're never gonna see him again. And that, honestly, that fucked us over, like, pretty hard. Like, in the grand scheme of things, like, that kind of stuff of just like, I got this great shit, so I'm leaving now, bye. Or just like, I'm just going to make another character and gear that one up too and join a different guild or whatever. And like, I get it. I do. But at the same time, like, it's absolutely fucking over everyone else in the guild. And like, if you actually, like, honestly, at this point, I'm, again, done with it now. Like, we've shut down and we've moved on with our lives as a collective. But, like, that's the kind of shit I would absolutely, like, if somebody came back to the game after that, I'd just be like, nah, we'll get someone else. Like, I fucking, like, Because all we're going to do, even when the next raid comes out, all right, Ulduar is out soon, right? And then we go do Ulduar, and then you get all your best shit from that, and then we never fucking see you again. You're just going to keep doing it. Of course you are. Like, you really actually have to commit to wanting to, like, play with that group of people, not just specifically for gear, but also to help them get gear, and then also, you know, maybe do other stuff, achievements, immortal, etc., right? Special limited edition proto drakes, pretty cool shit. Much easier to get when you're actually have a consistent group that does the same shit every week instead of having to pull random people up the streets of Dalaran and hope that they're reasonably competent at the game, which is a complete fucking crapshoot. I don't know how, I'm sure it's the exact same on all the other servers. I can't even blame it on fucking Sky Fury being a fresh server or anything like that. I'm sure it's the same. You know, you have your guilds that have like the good players in them because they get recruited because of logs or, you know, whatever. And then, yeah, everyone else who sucks just has to fucking join whatever groups will take them, and, you know, then they get fucking, they do shit damage, but really high rolls. Obviously, everybody knows the less damage you do, the better your rolls are. It's really frustrating how that works, honestly. It really is. Anyways, yeah, and it's really the biggest thing. Like, if you're, you know, if you miss once in a while, not a big deal. If you're not there consistently, if you're not there on a regular basis, if you're not there more often than you are there, then your raid leader fucking hates you. Regardless of what excuses you give him, regardless of anything else. Like, if you, for example, after wiping on a boss, just log out and literally never log back in again and literally never play the game again. Like, fucking shit, man. Like, at least tell me. Like, I DM'd you on Discord. At least give me, like, hey, you know, I'm not feeling the game. I don't want to play it anymore. That's fine. That's fine. Whatever, man. I'm not going to beg you to keep playing this video game with me. I'm not. But it would be nice to just hear, I'm not coming back. Okay, cool. Now I can go after and try to fucking recruit somebody to replace you, you know? And then you got the people who are like, yeah, I'm thinking about leaving for another guild, but I'm not really sure. And then you fucking try to recruit somebody to replace them, and then they decide to stay, and then the guy you recruited's annoyed because you recruited him to tank, but now your tank didn't leave like he thought he might, and now you have to just fucking, you know, alright, well, you're my backup tank now, except my tanks are the only people that actually fucking show up every week, so I really don't know what to do with you. You know what I mean? It's just fucking, it's the attendance shit. Like, just fucking be there, and if you're not, just say, hey, I'm not gonna be there. But really, just fucking be there. That's it. Just be there. You know, again, you got fucking real shit going on in your life. I understand that, right? But, like, and sometimes you just fuck up. Sometimes you're like, I'm going to take a nap before the raid. And then fucking 6 hours later, you wake up and it's 9 p.m. and your sleep schedule's all fucked up and stuff. Like, again, I get it. It's not the end of the world. But, like, if that's happening, like, every week or 2 out of 3 weeks, man, like, it's just not for you. You're just not in the right place. You're just not playing the right game. 100%. Go play retail and do LFR. You know what I mean? Like, that's 100% where you should be if you just can't commit to an actual raid schedule. And finally, the loot. The loot's the worst, honestly. Personal loot is the best thing. Retail, having not played retail WoW since it was Wrath of the Lich King, personal loot's absolutely the way to go. Fucking, the loot drama is fucking insane and stupid. I can't believe how upset people get about fucking video game items. Like, people just, like, fucking straight up rage quitting because they didn't win the fucking item that they wanted. And it's just, like, coming up with, like, trying to figure out loopholes and, like, trying to confuse you into giving them, you know what I mean? It's like, no, man, like, you know, we use soft reserve, and I know most guilds do loot council and shit, but we just didn't want to because it causes too many problems, and so we just did soft reserve, and two people soft reserve the same item, they roll, I give it to the winner, The loser's fucking like freaking out and fucking logs off the game as soon as he realizes that I'm absolutely under no circumstances giving him the damn thing. Then he doesn't show up the next week, and then the first guy, and then that same item drops again, and the first guy already has the damn thing, doesn't need it. We're about to disenchant the fucking thing because no one even can use it. We ended up giving the rogue a second KT dagger that he's not going to use both at the same time, but he's just keeping one poison on one of them and a different poison on another one so we can switch back and forth between poisons easier. What a fucking waste of a fucking amazing dagger. Absolute insanity. And it's just shit like that all the goddamn time. Like, it never stops. It's just one thing after a fucking another. You bring in a pug, he's rolling on these bind on equip boots, and that's fine. You can fucking, if you need them, you need them. Just all we ask is you equip the goddamn things. And then, oh yeah, I have them equipped, okay, great. And then somebody else in the raid points out, like, nah, but they're already enchanted, and he's not an enchanter, so he already had them. Oh, okay, he just rolled on them to try to fucking sell them. Alright, great. Now I gotta sit here and deal with this shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, we're talking about a couple hundred gold. Like, it's not like the fucking Surge Needle ring from Malygos where you stand to make the better part of 10,000 gold. You know what I mean? Like, it's a couple hundred at best, and that's even if they fucking sell. You know how many BOEs we've put on the auction house and just wait? And I've personally put up on the auction house itself for the guild, and they fucking sit there for 3 goddamn days at like 150 gold, and just no one wants that shit. And it turns out they're not very good. A lot of the time. And people are like fucking freaking out about that shit. Eventually the guy did give the boots to, the next highest roller. But like, fucking A, man. Like, as a raid leader, like, just having to like fucking, now I gotta fucking monitor everybody's bullshit. You know what I mean? Now I gotta inspect people before I give them the gear to see if they even have it yet. And then everyone else in the raid's telling them, like, well, you did it wrong. You're supposed to unequip the boots. You're supposed to have decoy boots that you can put on, to throw everyone else off so nobody else notices the bullshit that you're trying to pull. And it's like, dude, stop trying to fucking help this guy ninja shit. Like, goddamn, like, what's more important? That this guy gets, like, 150 gold, or that this other guy actually gets equipment? You know what I mean? Like, gear that he can use. Like, just fucking give it to the guy. What's wrong with you people? Like, at the end of the day, as the raid leader, I want everybody to have good gear. I want good gear for myself too, don't get me wrong, but I want everyone else to have gear too. And good gear at that. I want to see people in my guild getting good drops and shit. And like, but the reality is only so much good stuff drops. Like, fucking Max has like 60 items that drop in a full clear. And like, guaranteed 54 of them, minimum, are completely useless to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, you're disenchanting that shit. It's going to people's off specs that they never play, or maybe they only use in heroic dungeons or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just garbage shit that's just not useful. For most people. So like, I have to divvy up like 6 items at most amongst 25 fucking people. And sorry man, you're just not gonna get shit every week. Like, fucking, even now, again, having raid leaded Nax every fucking week for the entire fucking year, I still have like 8 more items that I need. Like, to get, like, that are upgrades for me. Because throughout the entirety of fucking Nax 25, we only had 2 Torture Holy Fire drops, which is my best in slot weapon, along with, as an Elemental Shaman, along with Boomkins, Shadow Priests, Discipline and Holy Priests, what is it? And every healer in the game, right? So Resto Shamans, Resto Druids, and, fuck it, my brain's fried now. I can't even think of the last one. Holy Paladins, right? And we had 2 of them. And granted, at least 2 of them went, both of them went to the people in the guild, but, ridiculous. And then it's like feast or famine, right? Like, I go 3 fucking weeks without getting anything, and then the week after that, I end up winning both of my best in slot trinkets, which is fucking insane. Hugely insane. in 1 week, and fairly too. It's not like I'm stealing shit. And you go into, looking for group chat, trade chat, or the server Discord, and you see people ninja looting shit all the time, like shit that's not even as good as the stuff that I could have. Like, I could have fucking best in slot and everything because I was master looter the entire time, but like I didn't. And I really felt like there was maybe 3 other people in my guild that wouldn't have ninja'd shit if they were in my position. Like, with just the amount of crying and bitching and moaning about gear and loot, there's no fucking way that like 99% of people are not just fucking taking everything that they want. Asmongold has it right. 100%. Like, as far as like raid leading goes, like Asmongold 100% has that shit figured out to where like he just fucking takes all of the shit that he wants and fucking divvies out the rest of it. And that's the way to fucking go, man. Like, I don't know if you can get away with being that raid leader if you're not a streamer or whatever. Like, I think if I did it, then people would just be like, nah, fuck this, I'm out. Because I'm not like a content creator or anything like that. But man, if you can get away with it, highly recommend. Good shit. That being said, bring back personal loot. Like, I know it sucks. I know it's worse than what we have, but it's way less headaches. It's way less drama. And I would much rather just fucking let people sort their own shit out. And then it's perfectly fine. Then I don't have enhancement shamans telling me they need Betrayer of Humanity for PvP. Then I don't have, people whispering me to piss and moan about people soft reserving multiple weapons. He's a holy paladin. He could use Turning Tide or Torture Holy Fire, both massive upgrades. Turning Tide not necessarily the best in slot, but even if both of those weapons do drop, which let's face it, they won't, I'm not even going to let him fucking take both of them. No. If he wins the Turning Tide, he keeps it, and then he doesn't even get to roll on the fucking Torture Holy Fire. That's fine. That's not a problem. You don't need to fucking put it together, this fucking, like, flowchart of, like, why it sucks, and you shouldn't be allowed to do that. No, it's fine. It's just Blizzard made a shitty game 14 years ago, and now we're back here playing it again, and having these stupid fucking arguments about it, and it's just dumb. Like, it's legit some of the dumbest shit I've dealt with as far as people are concerned. And that's not easy for me to say. I worked in factories. Like, y'all motherfuckers, honestly, the fact that you can be worse than factory people is insane. Because factory people are some of the most degenerate fucks I've ever met in my entire life. That's why I loved working in factories. Absolutely amazing. And incredibly enjoyable. To just experience firsthand. But the World of Warcraft Classic players just take it in a direction that's just not fun, and it's a level of degeneracy that it's not like, oh, this is fun and entertaining. It's just, you people are sad. You're sad and you're making me sad by existing in the way that you are. And you really need to do better. And I don't know how. I don't know how to direct you into being less sad than you are now. I guess I just don't know you like that. And I honestly don't really want to. But you need to try to figure something out. And reevaluate the decisions that led you to typing insane things to your raid leader about the loot, because it really isn't that big of a deal, man. I know you want number to be bigger. I want number to be bigger too. I want your number to be bigger, specifically yours, but I also specifically want everyone's number to be bigger. And like, how am I supposed to choose? Like, am I just, like, honestly, at this point, I think I should have just started taking bribes. You know what I mean? Like, basically, here's from my perspective, the ideal loot system that I would like to run. It's basically a GDKP, but instead of splitting off all the gold at the end, I just keep it all, right? Because that's really, like, if I were to go back to WoW Classic, and people were like, "Oh, we need you to raid lead." I think that's the only way that I would do it. Is if I was just paid in significant amounts of gold, or real money for that matter. I don't know if that's actually a real money transaction. I don't know if that's against TOS or whatever, but yeah, I think I would charge $50 total to lead a raid for like leading like an Axe 25 and throwing Obsidian Sanctum and all that other stuff. I think that's what it would actually take to get me to do it again. About $25 or 30k gold, something like that. Maybe 50, just so I can buy up all the dumb shit that I want and, just, be able to manipulate markets and enjoy that aspect of the game without having to, like, worry about how much, money, gold and all that stuff I actually have access to. Like, there's got to be some kind of middle ground where like y'all can just fucking pay me to do this shit, because there's just no way. I don't know how y'all do it for free. Like the raid leaders that actually you deserve to be paid. Like, instead of listening to people bitch, like using their mouth to just bitch about, loot distribution or whatever the things are that they like to complain about, they should just be sucking you off. Honestly, using their mouth for that instead, it would be way more valuable, not just for the raid leader, but for pretty much anybody in the group. So they won't have to listen to that. That being said, the majority of the people that were in my guild were fine. And honestly, most of them were more than fine. Most of them logged in about half an hour before the raid started. We're ready to go. We went in there and we just killed bosses and we just left. And that's what the majority of people do. But the fuckers, and you know who you are, those are the people that make raid leading fucking son of a bitch. And if I could get rid of all of the fuckers and just replace them with the people who just quietly play the game and accept the fact that they're not getting the best loot in the first fucking week of the fucking phase, I would. But those people are rare. Too rare to fill a raid group up with. That's really unfortunate. Anyways, that's about it. There's actually other stuff that because when you think about okay, I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to talk about this, and then I didn't write a script, I just winged this whole thing, and then realized that I definitely forgot stuff. There's definitely stuff I wanted to come back to, and I just didn't, for what because by the time I came up with a decent transition to get back to it, I don't even remember what the hell it is anymore, and I'm trying to keep this somewhat cohesive so I'm not just all over the goddamn place. Yeah, that's all. So, that's the end of the video. Your raid leader hates you. Maybe not, but probably. And that's about it, man. Just stop whispering. Just do me a favor. If you listen to this far into it, we're over half an hour in at this point. If you listen to all of this, just do me a favor and just do one raid without whispering your leader wow, I can't even talk anymore. Do one raid without whispering your raid leader some stupid bullshit that he doesn't care about. Just do one and see what it's like. See what the other see what the other side, half of the world lives like, where they're not whispering random bullshit to their raid leader. Just see maybe you'll like it more. You know what I mean? Maybe you'll oh, okay, just give it a try. I'm not saying you're definitely gonna love it, but you might. It's worth trying. Anyways, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed me badly playing Monster Hunter World in the background. And, yeah, I'm never raid leading again. That's for goddamn sure. And for those that do, I salute you. You fucking did on it, and quite frankly, you deserve to be paid by the people you're raid leading for, whether it's in gold or real money or maybe some kind of custom Rule 34 of your character or something. Something like that. Anyways, thanks again for listening, and have a wonderful day.